The Triangle Shirtwaist Company factory was located in New York City on the top 3 floors of the APUSH building. It was run by Max Planck and Isaac Harris. Most of the workers were women/children, and they had a gruesome workday that lasted 12+ hours. On March 25, 1911, 600 workers were working in the factory when all of a sudden a fire started out in a rag bin. It has been led to believe that it started from a cigarette, but that is just speculation. The fire began to grow and many people were panicking.
Within seconds, the combustible litter of cloth and tissue paper had burst into flames. And before anyone could stop it, the fire began to spread with startling speed from one stack of fabric to another. As cries of panic went out and terrified workers scrambled for the exits.
There were not many escape routes, and the elevator stopped working after about 4 trips. The doors were also locked by the management during the day, so many passed away because they couldn't exit, and many others passed from jumping out of the building. Over 146 people were killed in this fire, some from smoke, some from being trapped in the building, and some from attempting to jump out to safety. Mainly women passed away. This fire really brought attention to the dangers of the factory and pushed many to reform. Mary Domsky-Abrams was a survivor who worked on the 9th floor. In an interview, she explained that despite the push for reforms, the Triangle Company bosses went free, and justice found them not guilty. The fire and the deaths showed the dangers of factories, and it also brought about activists pushing for reforms. On April 5, 1911, over 80,000 people marched silently in a funeral procession for those who lost their lives. There were 250,000 people lining the procession route, and this happened up 5th Avenue in New York City. Everyone that participated showed support for new factory safety laws. The Triangle factory fire became a symbol for labor reforms in the Progressive Era, and it pushed people to really take a look at safety laws. It marked the beginning of the Progressive Era, and it really made people start to want to reform.
Then it came time for the Factory Commission to write its laws. And Smith sat at the table. He was very conscious of his lack of education. And he said, "You make the recommendations, I'll fight for them." And it was a very wonderful and dramatic thing.
Many different reforms occurred after this, such as 36 new labor laws, a new industrial code for New York State, and higher national standards for factory safety. Also, a factory investigating commission was created by the state to investigate factory safety, and fire safety laws were strengthened. Automatic sprinklers, fire drills, and fire exits were also created.
In the Progressive Era, Frances Perkins was a reformer that wanted factory safety. Frances Perkins witnessed the horror of the fire, and she believed that something must be done. She felt that there should be better labor laws to stop tragedies like this from occurring.
During the Progressive Era, Al Smith, governor of New York at the time of the factory fire, also fought for better laws like how Perkins did. Smith helped put new workplace safety standards into place for New York City and set an example for the rest of the country.
And for the years to come after that, Al Smith was the weapon of reform in New York.